So welcome back to this $1,000,000 topic, that is, does God exist? All of us, we like stories, so I'm prepared to say so many stories and bring out some good lessons from that. One of my old friend in the school, he always claimed that I am an atheist. I never believe in God. And he was a very bright and intelligent student, and finally he went on to become a very big doctor, surgeon, and he started his own hospital. And for the inauguration, he invited all of us, and in the invitation he had written, morning 11:30 a.m. there is Satyanarayana Puja. When I read that one point, I was inspired, intrigued to go and attend. Even though I was busy, I wanted to go and talk to this friend. Finally, he has become theist and a believer of God. And finally, I went to the program. The entire program, I did not ask in between. So after the program, after the lunch, I went to my friend and I asked him, "What, sir? You always claimed that you are an atheist from childhood. Now suddenly, from where you got this gyan, that now you are performing Satyanarayana Puja?" And he gave an outstanding answer. He said, even now I am an atheist. I never believe in God. Then what about Satyanarayana Puja? Then he said, his logic was, I have invested 50 crores for this hospital and this Satyanarayana Puja will cost me 5,000 rupees. I know God doesn't exist. If at all He exists, then why to take risk? Just 5,000, no risk. So this is the kind of wishy-washy faith or shaky faith people have on God. Friends, we should not have this kind of wishy-washy faith or shaky faith about God. And we should have sound logic. Thus, it is very important for us to have a reasonable and logical approach to understand whether God exists or not. Now, the unseen can be known from the seen. And many people say, I don't believe in God because I can't see Him. Very wonderful logic. What is the logic? I don't believe in God because I can't see Him. So the question is, we can't see so many things in this world. We can't see air, we can't see electricity, we can't even see our mind. Then does that mean it doesn't exist? In this life, there are so many things we see but we don't believe. And there are so many things we don't see but we believe. I can give you examples. In physics, we have seen the theory of refraction. When you put a stick inside the water bottle, the stick at the level of water appears as if it is bent, but we don't believe it. Here, we are seeing it, but we are not believing. But there are so many things we don't see, but we believe. We believe in the existence of air, but we can't see. So, we give logic for one thing, and we don't want to use the same logic for other thing. That is our incapability. So, we'll discuss about the first proof about the existence of God. So, the first proof is about urges. So, all of us in this life, we have so many urges. Urge for the body, mind, intelligence, soul, and so on. Interestingly, for every urge we have, the nature, Prakriti, provides fulfillment. So, for example, thirst. Thirst is an urge. And what does nature provide fulfillment for thirst? That is water. And there is hunger. What does nature provide fulfillment for hunger? That is food. There is urge for sex. In every species, whether human being, animal, every species there is an urge for sex. And what does nature provide fulfillment? The opposite sex. Similarly, all of us have a strong innate urge to worship someone, to make someone our role model, mentor, counselor, and so on. Irrespective of people, every one of us we have a strong urge to worship someone. And what does the nature provide as a fulfillment? And that is God. All of us, we have tendency to worship someone, and nature provides fulfillment, and that is God. Now, most of the people, or many people, or some of the people, they do not know that. So they do not know that I need to worship God. So what do? So they don't know that they have to worship God, so they worship some sports stars, film stars, and so on. Let me give you some examples. So for every urge, there is a fulfillment provided by the nature, and for the urge to worship someone, the nature provides God as a fulfillment. For example, we can see here, they have people, they are worshipping Sachin Tendulkar as God, sports star. So here such a huge frame and such a huge garland for Sachin, and you can see they have written Sri Sachin Devaya Namaha, and Sachin is a god of cricket. So from this we can easily understand people have a strong tendency to worship someone. If they don't find the right person, they do it for alternative options. Now, I think all of you are aware about this famous rock star in America. He was very famous in 60s and 70s. He is known as Elvis Presley. And whenever Elvis Presley would come for any program, people would gather in lakhs and lakhs of people would gather to have his darshan, to attend his program. And the organizers, they have to make very huge pandal program or a stadium, and with that they have to organize hundreds of ambulances and doctors, nurses, helpers for the program. Why? Because as soon as people would see this star Elvis Presley, and people would go to ecstasy, they start crying, they become unconscious, swoon and fall unconscious. So to take care of these people, there were hundreds of ambulances and doctors available at the stadiums. I'll tell you one very interesting story about Elvis Presley. One time, Elvis Presley came for a program, and after the program, he used the green room, where he used one handkerchief and he wiped his sweat and threw it off. The organizer took that photo that the handkerchief belongs to Elvis Presley and he has thrown out, and he took that handkerchief, he cut it by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter and sold each piece for hundreds of dollars. And finally, this organizer became a millionaire just by selling one handkerchief of Elvis Presley. By selling a kachde ka tukda, a person becomes millionaire. From this also we can understand the heights of tendency to worship someone. How many of you are aware that in India there are temples for these actors? Rajinikanth, he has a temple, Amitabh Bachchan has a temple, Khushbu, she has a temple, and people worship them. Quite interesting, right? Now, as we saw first proof, for all urge, there is a fulfillment provided by the nature, and the urge to worship someone, the nature provides God as the fulfillment. So as we discussed, there are so many proofs which we are going to discuss in every episode, and we can prove the existence of God by these facts and figures. And this is one of the first proof about urges. I think all of you got a fair understanding and idea about these urges. Every urge, the nature provides fulfillment. The urge for thirst, nature gives us water. For hunger, nature gives food. For sex, nature gives opposite sex. And for worshipping, nature provides God. And if you see, not only in this world, not only in this country, you go to any other country like Africa, even some jungle, people worship. People worship some stone, water, sun, somehow or other they worship something. That is the innate nature to worship someone. So let us discuss the further proofs in the next episodes. Thank you very much.